Welcome back, and joining me with his analysis of the day's markets action is Craig Pheiffer from Sasfin Wealth. Thank you so much for your time, Craig. I'm quite surprised that we are seeing a turnaround there, particularly in the U.S. markets. After we'd had those fresh record highs time and time again, I guess over the last two sessions, even still with the big banks coming out with earnings that are surprising to the upside. Is this maybe those markets just taking a breather?
I think there's an element of truth to that. I can't even remember now what the count is of how many all-time highs we've had this year in the S&P 500. It's definitely over 40. So if you think of how many trading days we've had this year, that's quite a lot. It's been a great performance. But we have to have some down days now and again. And I think the earnings season, this third quarter earnings season, is going to probably dictate the way the market goes. And one can expect a bit of volatility, I suppose, as these companies report. And as always, as we've seen, beating revenue and earnings isn't good enough. You need to have a positive outlook or improve your outlook. And investors, want to be 100% sure that things are on track, because a lot of these companies are, priced for perfection at the moment. Yeah.
I mean, just one of the companies that markets are unsure about is Sasol. I did see it plummeting more than 5% today. Is that something to do with the oil market? Yeah, just talk to me. Just the pressure that we just keep on seeing on Sasol. It seems never ending.
There's a lot of, I suppose, volatility or uncertainty around where the oil price is going. We have all of this conflict in the Middle East. I mean, that's playing out there, so one's never sure if a stray bomb hits some Iranian production. We've got OPEC looking to bring on more production or bring some production back online starting in December. We've got global demand for oils also, fairly weak. And, one's just not quite sure where the oil price is going. And if you've got all of this uncertainty, all of this Middle East conflict, and, we can't break $80, perhaps the price is more likely to fall back in a weak demand environment.
Price that did fall back was the stock on Bytes. They released interim results. Their revenue softened, but we did see growth in the bottom line of almost a fifth. Just in terms of, the stock that was down just by, I think, just over 2%. Was that a function of the results?
Yeah, one's never quite sure what the market's expecting. You always have to look at the results against, market expectations. And as I said, you've really got to keep showing good numbers and just, have a positive outlook. I thought the numbers, across the board from the top of the income statement to the bottom earnings line were all sort of mid to upper teens. So, it didn't look to be anything untoward there. So I would just think, maybe just a bit of buy on rumor, sell on fact. I think the results were fairly good.
Before we get to your stock pick, Craig, I quickly want to go to a very interesting thing that I saw on China. S&P, the ratings agency, said that they're actually not going to revise up their economic growth forecast for China's economy this year, even with all the stimulus. Is that a surprise or not?
Well, I think all of the stimulus is maybe not enough stimulus, and I think that's the issue. I think the market wants to see, certainly more on the monetary policy side, more support on that side, and definitely more something substantial from the fiscal policy side. So I think the handful of measures or the whole bunch of measures that they put together last week or so helped sentiment in the short term, but probably not going to move the needle, the growth needle, essentially. They're giving the banks a lot more liquidity, but that's not the issue. They need people to actually borrow the money. They need to see those consumers actually wanting to go and borrow and invest and spend. So giving the banks more liquidity doesn't really change the problem. So we need a lot more. And I think if we see that, the markets will be buoyed by that, and maybe that will have an impact on actual GDP.
All right. Well, let's get to your stock pick for today, Craig. What are you choosing?
Well, I was going to be very brave, and I was brave, ahead of results expected tomorrow for ASML. a company that really produces everything, the software, the hardware, and everything a chip maker needs to produce semiconductors, computer chips. Their results were due out tomorrow for the third quarter. They came out unexpectedly, probably 15 minutes, half an hour ago, ahead of schedule. And the markets and the numbers are, the outlook is for pretty soft sales looking forward. So, does that change my mind on the company? Not really. I think maybe it would present more of a buying opportunity. It was my stock pick because I thought at the current levels it was quite attractively valued, going forward. This pullback today, and it's good 10, 12% at the moment on the day, so it's quite substantial. I would think, let's take a closer look at the numbers, but I think this just makes it probably a little bit more attractive again for longer term investors.
All right, interesting. Thank you so much for your time and for your insights there on what has been moving the markets. That was Pheiffer from Sasfin Wealth.